In asymmetrical horror, survival is built on three specific pillars: reliable information, mechanical skill, and tight team coordination. Players rely on the game's built-in safety nets to maintain this. A killer's terror radius provides an audible warning, skill checks give distinct audio cues, and rescue windows remain predictable enough for players to coordinate. The central design challenge is what happens when a killer's kit is built to target these instincts, turning a survivor's learned behaviors into active liabilities. This is the fifth Fuma Kotaro, known as the Evil Wind. Kotaro is built to target a player's perception of the match. His kit focuses on the survivor's internal confidence, utilizing mechanics that aim for the player's decision-making process rather than the character's health bar. Analyzing these specific mechanics reveals how the design erodes a player's sense of security, replacing clear information with doubt. The first phase of this design targets senses, depriving the survivor of trustworthy audio and visual input. This schematic shows his shadow dash ability. Kotaro moves invisibly at high speed, passing through survivors completely undetected. Ending the dash within 4 meters inflicts the oblivious status effect. This deafens the player for 15 seconds, removing their warning heartbeat. Kotaro further complicates the audio landscape with the perk Afraid of One's Own Shadow, which generates false information for anyone nearby. Survivors resting within the terror radius are forced to hear a fake, chase-mimicking heartbeat every 20 to 30 seconds, even when they are alone. This combination of mechanics forces a state of sensory paralysis. The invisible dash makes visual confirmation unreliable, while the phantom heartbeats make audio cues untrustworthy. The oppression deepens by turning mechanical competence, the player's ability to play the game optimally, into a direct vulnerability. Players are typically rewarded for landing great skill checks during repairs or healing, providing a boost to their progress in exchange for perfect timing. Afraid of One's Own Shadow subverts this reward. Landing a great skill check reveals the player's aura to Kotaro for up to 6 seconds, giving away their exact position for playing well. This exact position reveal allows Kotaro to use Incineration, launching a high-speed flaming kunai as a straight-line projectile. A hit inflicts the incinerated status effect. This damages the survivor, marks their path with glowing fire trails, and applies a persistent 5% penalty to repair and healing speeds that lasts until they are fully healed. These mechanics create a paradox where hitting perfect checks and attempting to heal only turns the survivor into an illuminated target. The final phase of this design focuses on macro control, penalizing team coordination and punishing attempts at altruism. The perk Hostage Subjugation triggers an area of effect suppression the moment Kotaro picks up a survivor. A 16-meter radius expands, engulfing nearby teammates. They are hit with the incapacitated status effect, blocking flashlight saves or rescues for 5 seconds. Map-wide pressure is maintained through Hex Incandescent Bloodline, a totem that links the fate of the survivors to the progress of the killer. Every time a survivor is hooked, all active generators explode and regress by up to 5%. Simultaneously, the Hex applies a stacking repair speed penalty across the entire team, reaching a maximum of 8%. Kotaro structurally forces survivors to abandon each other. Under these mechanics, teamwork stops being a viable strategy and becomes the primary cause of a team's collapse. By the late game, survivors face a specific psychological state. They are isolated, confused by false alarms, and unable to rely on their teammates or their own skills. This despair is highlighted in the Memento Mori execution, Funeral of the Five Furies. The execution begins with Kotaro pinning the victim to the ground. A whistle summons the Fumacore, a circle of silhouettes with glowing red eyes. The silhouettes sprint in a frenzied circle, dropping embers that ignite into a massive pillar of fire, consuming the survivor. Kotaro watches as the fire dies down, leaving only ash behind. He retrieves his kunai from the remains and vanishes back into the fog. Fuma Kotaro demonstrates a design philosophy where horror comes from the removal of agency. When a player can no longer trust their eyes or ears, they are left alone in the dark, unable to distinguish between a simple breeze and their own end.